Okay, this is the the Miss Magazine case study. My name's Kyle Mutch, and let's get right into it. Miss Magazine was a commercial magazine that printed its last commercial, ad-filled issue in 1989, but came back in 1990 with no advertising, choosing to be funded by reader subscription only. This was the decision of their new publisher, David Lang. He bought the company, or I'm sorry, he didn't buy the company. He bought the magazine and he bought the rights to be able to publish it. Gloria Steinem was the founder of the magazine and didn't want to have to worry about printing advertising than printing something that would offend the advertisers. Basically, she said that she didn't want to offend the people who pay the bills. So essentially, they just stopped making ads happen in the magazine, and now all they do is nonprofit type ads. And the question, they also question the motives of all advertisers, and a lot of other magazines do that as well. Other magazines have strict rules of what ads go in and what don't, and now Miss Magazine also has those things. And now the new the new editor in chief, Robin Morgan, told the Denver Post that, this is paraphrasing, that they can all say things that they never could in the past 18 years. These are just some of the questions that posed in the case study itself. These are the micro issues. Is Miss infringing on the advertiser's right to freedom of speech? Is Miss courting financial ruin by shunning the advertisers that support it? Is Miss depriving its readers of an informative medium through its elimination of ads? If a magazine edits an article to satisfy an important advertiser, does it have any obligation to inform readers of the decision? And my answers to that for the first question are no, they're not infringing on any First Amendment rights of advertisers. When advertisers trust a private business to essentially put their brand out there, they're trying to get money, they're trying to make their product grow through an ad that they're paying for. So it's a private business. They don't have to accept advertising. They don't have to accept any advertising dollars. They're not allowing ads and are not accepting money for them, so it's not a First Amendment issue. Answer to question number 2 is possibly, because charging a subscription is not enough to pay an entire staff and keep a solid revenue stream going unless you charge an arm and a leg for it. And that's basically just, why don't you have ads? Why not? And question number 3, and yes, they can and can't be, because people are susceptible to ads all day, every day, no matter what they try to do. Question 4, if any publication edits an article to satisfy its advertisers, then yes, I believe they have an obligation to their readers to inform them of it. But if they do, they risk losing the advertiser. It's just one of those crummy things that goes on dealing with businesses. Do you do this, or do you do this? That's really the only issue there. All right, these are the mid-range issues. Are consumers able to distinguish between editorial content and advertisements? Does it matter? How could Miss Magazine responsibly satisfy the desires of its advertisers and readers simultaneously? And question 3 is, how would the particular advertiser problems of a liberal feminist magazine such as Miss, compare to another periodical such as Newsweek? Now, the answers are really not that difficult to come up with. So, yes, customers are able to determine the difference between editorial content and advertising. It's pretty simple. It's really not hard to do. All you have to do is really just pay attention, and basically, And question number 2 is, it's hard, yet it's easy to be able to keep your readers and your advertisers happy. They just have to find some sort of happy medium to basically make it work. Like if an advertiser doesn't want them to print a story about something, well, then they have to go through the process of basically saying, okay, is it newsworthy? Yes or no. Is it important to this magazine? Yes or no. Is it important to our readers? Yes or no. And if so, you can just drop the advertiser or print the ad, see what happens. Question number 3 is kind of easy to me as well. Comparing Mrs. to Newsweek is not easy because a liberal feminist magazine cannot really compete with a publication like Newsweek and its millions of readers and its very wide outreach. So if you're Newsweek, you don't really need the ads. You can charge a subscription and make plenty of money doing so. You might be wise to take ads if you're Newsweek just to make some more profit and to pay your people more and to basically be able to do a whole lot of things you might not be able to do. But if you're like Ms. Magazine, you might be wise just to take ads that make sense for your business. It's really not that complicated. Then the macro issues. Question 1 is it the media's job to censor advertisements for the public? By running an ad, is a publication endorsing the product being advertised, or should publications be held responsible for the claims of their advertisers? And question 3, is a magazine ethically required to be an open forum for all advertisers who have the ability to pay, and according to what standards? These are actually very simple to answer. And the question number 1 was, is the media's job to censor the ads? No, not at all. The media's job is to report the news. The media's job is not to do anything with advertisements other than put them out there in their publication. The job that is censoring different things in the news and the media, that belongs to the FCC. They decide what can go out and what can't. Question number 2, by running an ad, is a publication endorsing that product? No, it's not. And should publications be held responsible for the claims of their advertisers? No, it's not held responsible at all. Because if the ad was endorsed by the publication, it would say so, and the publications are not responsible for the claims of advertisers, and the advertisers have to make that one stick. They have to make their claims stick. The publication is basically stating, hey, you know what? Here's an advertisement. They paid us to do it, so we're going to do it. We're going to make some money. And question number 3, is the magazine ethically required to be an open forum for advertisers? No, not at all. Nothing. No. It's a private organization. It's not a public forum. It's not a public forum by definition. It is a private organization, and having to pay for something does not make that a public forum. And a private organization has a choice on who to promote, what to promote with their advertising space, and what they choose to do with their publication is their decision, not the advertisers. Basically, the impacted parties here are the readers and staff. That's pretty much the main impact goes on to them. The readers are going to get new material, and new materials to indulge in, so things that advertisers didn't want them to publish earlier will come up in the magazine. So it's a question, it's not really a question, but it's a thing that, what new thing are they going to publish? What kind of thing are they going to do? Are they going to publish something more along the lines of something like a cosmopolitan magazine? Are they going to do politics or something like that? And the staff, the question about the staff is, will they make enough money? Will they be happy making what they make? And if so, how is this going to affect them? How is this going to affect the publication? And the only really media that I found that was affected was the American Jewish Congress released a statement critical of Ms. Magazine to run an ad celebrating these 3 outstanding Israeli women. And the ad's response basically was This is not anti-Israel. This is not anti-Israeli, not anti-Jew, nothing of the sort. It's simply we don't do this according to our ad policy. We don't take ads from any organization that is for profit, and it's not mission driven. So they just turned it down. That was all they did, and that is all I got for you. Thanks for watching.